Project number 1 is a rustic church. And I'm just showing you a little bit of the cutting process here. This is my scrap wood from my backyard. I'm cutting 2 pieces at a 45-degree angle. And then I'll have a middle piece that's a smaller angle. Just want to show you how easy it is to get the angle when you have a little miter saw like this. Okay, making sure everything looks good. I wasn't 100% happy with the angle on this one, so I did go back a couple times. It just seemed like a little bit off-centered. So this video is part of the Recreation Inspiration playlist, and I'll tell you a little bit more about that later on in the video. So I got my 3 pieces, and these are going to be glued together in the middle, and then the middle piece is going to go on top. And yes, there's been a lot of rustic churches made, but I'm recreating one by Misty from Gleespen Designs, and I'll give you a little bit more information about her channel later on. Now, my wood actually had pieces where the screws had been for the chair, so I'm going to use those holes and drill into the wood beneath and screw them together. And this is just a little drill that I got from eBay, and I love it. It works fine. I got some good quality drill bits for it because the ones it came with, it weren't that great, but otherwise it's perfect for my needs. Okay, and I did the same on the bottom. I did 2 pilot holes and screwed in 2 screws. And so the screws with the glue means that these 3 pieces are not going anywhere. I have these little Christmas tree branches. They're flexible, and I just bent them into a circle, and then I took some of those pip berries and wrapped it around the wreath, and some twine with the red and tan, and I wrapped that around it as well. Now I'm making a little finger bow, and I just do that by wrapping the jute around my fingers like 7 times. And then I tie it in the middle. It's kind of like how you would do a tassel, but you tie it in the middle instead of the end. And my glue gun wasn't working at this point, and so I grabbed one of these little like hoops that you can just screw in. And I figure, you know, I'll change out the wreaths as the seasons go. So that's sort of a happy accident. So we'll put the Christmas wreath on for now. I'm just going to do a rough coat with my what is it called? Rust-Oleum Linden White chalk paint. And I'm just going to do one coat on the top and the sides. Now, in the original, Misty put some extra pieces of wood for the roof, but I didn't think mine needed it. So I'm just going to rub some burnt umber acrylic paint on these popsicle sticks. And then I used the sticks to create a door by tracing the width of them, and then I used like a little bottle to get like a curve on the top there. And it was easy to work with the cardboard first to get the right size, and then I'm just going to glue the sticks on the cardboard, and then I'll use the curve at the top of the cardboard to cut the curve into the sticks. And I'm using the wood glue hot glue combination like I often do. And just a quick trim on the sides and the top here. And wood glue hot glue for the windows as well. And I put the windows there to cover up those big screw holes. And then just using a dowel there to make sure that they're even. Again, wood glue, hot glue. I also put some little dots for the doorknobs on the double door, and I'll give you a good look at this during the final reveal. Project number 2 is stuffed trees in a bucket. And I just got various fabrics. There's Misty from Gleespen Designs. She's the one who did all these projects originally, and I have a link to her channel and the specific video in my description box below. For now, I got the fabric, just random fabric, and I cut some templates just on a piece of computer paper. And I made sure they were different sizes, like wider at the bottom or taller. And then I made sure I doubled up the fabric and cut out the triangles. Now I turn them inside out so that the wrong side of the fabric is facing me, and then I glue it to the piece below. So the wrong side is facing me and the wrong side is laying down, and the good sides are on the inside. I hope that makes sense. I just lifted up a little bit of fabric and glued it, and then pressed it down underneath. I also used my little heat press to smooth the fabric and sort of smooth out the edges where the glue was. I did the exact same thing for each tree. This one I smoothed out first. Couldn't really, I guess this is what you call the double-sided fabric. I couldn't tell if there was a wrong side or right side, so I just put some glue down and then carefully patted it, went over it with the heat press again, did the exact same thing as the first one. Then I'm just going to show you these first two because they're all done the same. I put the first one inside out or outside in, however you want to call it. I made sure that the skewer is the right size because the skewers are going to be the tree trunks. And you see the look it gets from gluing it on the inside first. I have this stuffing, oh my gosh, I've had it for like 10 years at least. I finally have a use for it. It's best to use my fingers to stuff it to get it all the way in the top because the skewer is really just kind of going through the stuffing. It's not really pushing it. Okay, so I'm going to take the skewer out while I get the bottom fold started. I'm sorry, I'm a little out of frame there for a second. I'm just going to fold the edges in, like you see, and then poke the tip of the glue gun inside there and do a short bead of glue. Just going to do the same on each side. See, and then I pinch it. And I'll leave a tiny little opening to get the skewer in there. See how I'm pushing the edge down into it? Poking the glue gun in, putting the glue in, pinching it, and running my fingers over it. And then I just pop the stick in, put a little extra glue around where the skewer was. Did the exact same thing with all 4 trees. Got them all stuffed, got them all glued, and they're not perfect, but the rustic charm is kind of what I was going for. I'm just making a little finger bow here. I wanted to put something on the base of the trees, so I did either a finger bow like this or just some ribbon in a shoelace bow. Now I'm poking some floral foam into this bucket that I chose. A couple of years ago I got like a Christmas tree plant in it, and so I saved the little bucket, and it's perfect for this. Sort of arranged the trees, just kind of winged it, and then I put some stuffing in there to cover up the foam, so I wouldn't have to like fill it all up with snow, because I wanted the top to be snow. So I just put in the snow there, and you'll get a better look at the final reveal. Okay, I wanted you guys to see this FUNCIL's watercolor set. I didn't get a chance to use it in this video, but I really wanted to show it to you. I think it would make a really good Christmas present for the budding artist in your friends or family circle. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about it while you watch. It's called FUNCIL's Watercolor Paint Set. It's got 50 colors. So you've got 36 basic, you've got some iridescents and some neons. The set includes brushes, a watercolor pad, a watercolor pencil, even one of those water brushes. It also has a black acrylic marker, a kneaded eraser, and a little sponge. So I definitely think we should check out FUNCIL's. I've recommended several of their other products before now, and I am recommending this one. And it's so pretty. It comes in like a little carrying bag. It's all colorful, and the case is tin with a snap on it. So it keeps everything inside, even if they fall out of their designated spots. So go ahead and look these up, and you won't be disappointed. And I will see you on the flip side. Our third and final project is a Christmas-themed gnome. Yes, gnome. I'm doing a gnome, my first ever. I want to remind you that this video belongs to the Recreation Inspiration playlist. The hosts are Amanda from 6 Kids and a Glue Gun, Charlene from the Crafty Art Shack, and Jackie from Mimi's World. Their channel links, as well as the link to the playlist, will be in my description box below, as well as a link for Misty from Gleespen Designs. So making a gnome is pretty easy, and I don't think I need to go into the minute details here. I'm using that same Christmas tree branch is to do the beard for the gnome. This is how Misty did it. I got about 3 parts of the beard per branch. I just used my wire cutters. And then I glued, I want to say like maybe half at the bottom of the cone there. I just kept gluing them until I couldn't see the white underneath, and gave it a little haircut. Now you might want to do the fabric beforehand, but I did it after I did the beard. So I got the last little bit on there. Then I'm going to grab the fabric, and I'm just going to cut off a scrap, and then I just kind of poked it under the beard there and rolled it around the back, and poked under the beard on the other side. I had to trim it. This is going to be at the back, so you don't have to like totally stress about it, but it's pretty easy just to cover up the back. And then I trimmed down the bottom. And this cone sits pretty good, so I didn't feel the need to mount it on anything. This is some more scrap fabric, and it's going to be the hat. So first I want to glue down that bell. That's the gnome nose. Once I got that where I wanted it to, I'm just going to wrap the fabric around the top of the cone here, and then cut off a scrap. I don't know why I left so much. I guess I was worried I was going to not have enough. And there's the same pillow stuffing that I used in the previous project. And I'm going to stuff the hat, make it nice and poofy. I think it'll look better when it flops down. So I'm just kind of winging it here, pulling the fabric around to the back and gluing it. You're not going to be able to see it at the back because the hat's going to flop down. So again, you don't need to stress about it. I took some jute and just tied off the hat near the top and trimmed the top. And then I have this piece of mop, like a mop head. And I just trimmed off a little bit that I could wrap around the top of the hat. That's going to be like his little Santa hat. Now my video cuts off at the end here, so I'm just going to explain. This is a piece of a chamois, like a car washing chamois. And I trimmed it near the seam, and then I folded it in on itself, and I wrapped it around the bottom of the hat. I'll give you a better look at the final reveal. Project number 2 and 3. Project number 2 and 3. Project number 2 and 3. Project number 2 and 3.